What do all these people have in common? Most people think it's about talent or timing, but it's not just that. There's a hidden architecture to their success. There's a blueprint that they're using that everyone's ignoring. If you ignore these facts, you're basically building on rented land. And once they change the algorithm, everything you built is going to disappear. The influencer, that's just a title. The builder, that's the owner. The people who dominate culture are usually doing two things at the same time, but the people only notice one. We see famous people disappear all the time, but what they won't forget is how they felt when they entered your world. The strongest creators create meaning over content. System builders and world builders. The system builder gives you the how, and the world builder gives you the who. System builders create frameworks. Berry Gordy took the Henry Ford model, and he made that model work in the music business.
I mean, you understood. You had the assembly line. Mm-hmm. You had the songwriter. You had the marketing. You had the whole package there at Motown.
That's right.
You took raw talent and in one end, and at the other end, there was a star.
That was my goal.
Then, years later, Tyler Perry takes the Berry Gordy model and the Henry Ford model, and he makes it work in the film business. And that's where no one individual becomes your main source of income. It's like an assembly line. Country Wayne has been able to do the same thing on social media. He's a system builder.
Yeah, and I pay them. Like, I got producers that pay actors, you know what I'm saying? Like my boy, Brad and Mike, I pay them 7 figures a year, you know what I'm saying? But they got people under them that they pay and people under them that they pay, you know what I'm saying? So Brad got a storyline and he got multiple storylines, but he'll have this person go shoot this person. And, but he turned in 200, Brad turned in 200 something videos a month, so do Mike. So collectively, they shoot me about 450 to 500 videos a month. You know what I'm saying? And I pay them per video. You know what I'm saying? So they get a fee per video, and they budget per video. They break down. They give somebody a day rate. You know what I'm saying?
How much is it? How long a video got to be?
3 minutes. 3 minutes or more.
One of the most well-known system builders would be Martha Stewart. From cooking to products to home products, it's a system that's repeatable. Rachel Ray, Tabitha Brown, they kind of took that system and was able to monetize in the same way that Martha Stewart has. The system gives people momentum. World builders create identity ecosystems. When you think about Wu-Tang, you think about the world that the RZA built. Martial arts, music, religion, fantasy, puts all this together to create one world. 16-bar verses became the villain. Traditional radio became the villain.
Yes, indeed. All right, Wu-Tang.
The Grateful Dead. People still talk about the Grateful Dead to this day. It has a certain aesthetic. It has certain rules, certain music you're supposed to listen to, certain ways you're supposed to act.
You feel disoriented in this country? Do you feel that there's a country and then there's you?
Yeah, sure.
The world gives people identity. So when you think about a world builder, you think about all the things that encompass that world. Let's say the main things for world building is heroes and villains. It has rules. That world usually has a language. That world usually has rituals and status markers. And you give them a role to play. They give them a moral code to adopt, and they give them an enemy. If you can't name your enemy, then that means you haven't built the world. You just have a social media account. Maybe the most effective are the hybrids. And there's not a lot of people who fit in the hybrid category. The people who exist in the middle of system builders and world builders, they're the hardest ones to copy. If you only build a world, people will admire you for a long time. If you only build a system, people will use the system, but never really love it. But if you build both, it's like teaching a man how to fish, but also providing a lake for him to fish at. Kanye West has become both because he put people around him that could also focus on the system, and he built the system. But it took a group of them. That's why it's bigger than him himself. It became this idea, this huge idea, the idea of Kanye. The gatekeeper has always been the villain for Kanye. This is what Hunger Games was all about. She went from being a person to a symbol. She became the Mockingjay. When both exist together, the creator stops being a person and becomes a movement. A brand sticks around even after you leave. You'll notice that when you build a world and a system, if the audience can't recognize each other as being a part of that world when you're not there, then you haven't built the world yet. You build a system or you build a world, the people are not in love with you personally. They're in love with the idea of you. They love who they become when they stand next to your story. People need proof that another life is possible. They need a symbolic leader, a rebel, a guide. Of course, there's a dangerous side to this. You can't think people love you personally. Once you start believing people love you personally, that it's about you and not about the world, then you end up becoming performative. This is what I believe happened to Master P. He combined multiple worlds to create one. He took West Coast influence and Southern influence and combined it. He took the military aesthetic and the military mindset and combined it with his movement. He created a distribution system where he was releasing albums like every week.
Master P had a big successful company because he had an uncensored deal for his distribution through Priority, meaning they had to put out every record he brought to the table, how he wanted to put it out.
I mean, that deal way back with Priority Records was something that was like unheard of at the time.
Yeah, it was like, man, High P made more money than the company.
It's crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
A lot more money than the company.
Yeah.
He built a system and a world, but within that, he got lost in the sauce. He started thinking it was about him. He's still around, but the impact could have lasted a lot longer. LaRussell's an interesting one because many people have issues with LaRussell right now. Things that he's said, and I don't even think LaRussell completely understands why people follow him in the way that they do. And I'm sure he understands that he built a system. Some ideas he carried on from Nipsey Hussle. You know, name your own price, make me an offer, using context over content. Once he realizes the world building part of it, I think he will be less impacted by how his audience reacts to the things that he says. It's very important that he understands that people are in love with the idea of him and not him as a person. Most creators think you have to do real dumb things to get attention, but the world that you build and the system that you build are separate from the algorithm. You have to build infrastructure. They can exist outside of the social media structure, outside of the internet. The people that we remember are not always the most talented. They're not even always the hardest worker. They're usually the ones that built something, that gave people a language, a role, a future, a purpose. Stop chasing attention and start building. And remember, I can make you look, but I can't make you see. Seeing is a choice. If you want to support the channel, please become a member. This is Brian from The King's Hand.
The appointed hand of the king.